me angle. Hmm. Hmm. That angle's terrible, you guys. Hang on. Yeah. Cover you so you don't have to see me adjusting. Okay, now the question becomes, do I have sound? That is a very good question. Let's find out, shall we? This is going to get a touch annoying for people, and I apologize. For I need to do a little external stuff here. Hang on. We want to. Oh, I have someone in chat. Why is my NVDA not working? Oh, good, you've got sound. I don't have NVDA, so hang on. Let's see if I can figure out why that's decided to stop working. Oh, you know what I bet it is? I bet you I'm not allowed to have NVDA and sound happening at the same time. We can work around this. It's going to be awkward and ghetto, but we can do this. Hang on. First, I'm going to do what I do when I stream. I'll turn this power on. I don't need. Technically, I just need to have this near me so you guys can hear me on the headset. So give me a moment, chat. I'm going to do something terribly sketchy, and we'll see if it works so that I can read chat. Otherwise, this could prove interest. We're going to go with interesting. I'm going to dismiss. I don't care about the new thing on YouTube. Thank you. Tis unnecessary from my point of view. I wish to look up my own podcast. Yes, I does. I wish to go to the live. Hey, look at that. Now I've got that loaded. I can go into here. I can go down to accessibility. Maybe. Where is accessibility on this thing? Here it is. Talk back. Turn talk back on. Immediately use different finger gestures because, of course, different finger gestures. And open that up. What are you? Settings. YouTube's what I want. Ha ha ha! Hi, Jen. Now I'm gonna have to. This is gonna be awkward. Hey, Aaron. Asa, hello. No, that's not what I wanted to say. Oh my gosh. Terrible. Oh, it does that. Oh my God, that's a terrible way to function. Ooh. Now, Melanie, you're gonna have to tell us what your version of Christmas crack is, because everyone's got a slightly different candy thing that they call a Christmas crack, or it's a chocolate bar thing that they've broken down as Christmas crack. So specifically, what style are we speaking of? My sweet tooth needs to know. All right, I have, in theory, caught up. All right, let's do a podcast. I'm going to be super awkward because I'm going to have to tap my phone to hear the chat so I can see when a new thing pops up. Then I have to go to my phone to get the sound. So, oh, that's fine. I'm allowed to have sound only if I use my wireless headphones, not my microphone, and I'm only allowed to have the microphone functioning so long as NVDA doesn't work. So I have no screen readers, so I had to turn on my phone and turn on my talkback to access my chat through my phone. So don't worry, Jude, you're not the only one. I'm gonna miss stuff today. I'm gonna miss stuff. That's how it works. And sometimes if I tap the wrong space, I don't get the right info. Stop with the emotes. Okay. Not. No, I mean, yes, Christmas crack. My one of my ex-boyfriends called it something else because his granny called it something else, and I learned the recipe from her with the soda crackers, caramel, chocolate drizzled on top. He likes peanuts on top of his. I prefer sea salt on top of mine, and then you crack it once it's done baking. So yes, I know what you mean, but that was not what I was told Christmas crack was when I was first growing up. Mind you, I now that I've seen it all over the place, lots of different things get called that. So whatever you call it, that's tasty. I like it. Oh, I should make some for me and my ex. His wife is gluten free. She has to be. Yeah, I'll offer an exchange. I'll offer an exchange. He'll bring me some vanilla bean hot chocolate from Second Cup, and I will make him what we're going to call Christmas crack. That's a good Christmas gift exchange. I can do that, I think. Mostly because why would his wife make it, or why would he make it and have it at home? His daughter and his wife can't have it. That's just rude. But having it here and having snacks when he's in town, that's totally fair. And in that way, we're not doing anything tempting to people. Gosh, I've got a lot of little things this week because we've reached the month where all the things happen all at once. I officially finally have settled plans for Christmas, which means Patreon members, oh well, technically the public. If you follow the Patreon page, Northern Mist Podcast, for free, I post a program schedule every month. December's is behind because I had to have some things settled out to have a solid program schedule. Now that I have a solid program schedule, I can post, which is really good because I want to get you guys dates and stuff, right? Oh gosh, I'm missing things. California. Woo, that's going to be a fun place to visit for a month. Hopefully, it's for good reason. For a month? No, no. I take 4 projects to my mother's house and I go for a week. 4 projects is not enough for a month. I'm not sure where Mercury is in retrograde, but if it is, communication and travel is going to be interesting for all of us, is how that's going to work. Oh, you beep to tell me you have a new message, but you don't read the message. You're so useless. Talk back. I'm with Jude. Do you have access to yarn? Let's talk about finishes. Guys, I got my first Christmas sock done. Look at this. It's a Christmas sock. Ooh, Christmas sock, Christmas sock. It's got a heel, that weird floppy heel bit underneath. First of the shorties is complete. I'm very excited by this. Will I get the other shorty done in time for Christmas? Probably not. But that's okay. I will try, and I won't worry about it if it doesn't happen. I went with a contrast cuff, so you guys can all see here. I just pulled some contrast cuff colors from the minis behind me and posted a picture on Patreon and said, I don't know, here's 3. Which one should I do? And 3 people voted for the same side, so that's the side we went with. The suck yarn is from Erin of Fireweed Fiber Co. This should shock nobody. This is the Christmas Tree Farm colorway. God, I hope I got that name right this time. She's only told me like 50 billion times. Terrible names. Listen, it stops at all sorts of things. Okay. Good news is we put the second sock on the needles already. So it's somewhere in this cacophony of stuff I need to talk about. I have finished another dishcloth, which isn't exciting. It's just a regular old standard dishcloth, but this one's for me. This is not for other people. This is Jocelyn's dishcloth. I need a couple more. Mostly just because my general dishcloths, like not the scrubby ones, but just your usual dishcloth situation is dire. So I need to make a couple more for myself. This is just using scrap Karen cotton cake yarn. There's nothing to it. This is just a half double crochet in a solid granny square on a 4mm size hook using a worsted weight cotton yarn. It gets a nice dense weave texture to it without being terribly hard to do, which is great. When I've got all the rounds, I go like 17 stitches aside, 19 stitches aside. Anyway, one is as big as I want it to be. I do a single crochet round and I fill in the corners and we're done. Nothing fancy, nothing terribly stressful. However, great staple, and this house needs more replacements. So I'm gonna make a couple more. Mostly because I gotta make a couple more, you know? Oh gosh. I really wish my MBDA would work. That'd be really nice. I hate it. I hate it. I hate when things don't work properly. All right, what else do we got on the table? Ooh, I have my other FO. You guys want a second FO? That's right, it's a double FO week. I might have had 3 FOs, but I got so distracted. I got distracted. 1, 2, 3. This is for another thing entirely. Do I have all of them up here? Oh my God, did I grab all of them? I did. Okay, that was a choice. Well, sure, cool, whatever. I did what I did, and that's how it gets. I am making some scrunchies. In my mind, there are two different types of scrunchies. There are the big scrunchies that you use when you put your hair up in a bun and sleep at night. Those tend to be fabric covered for me. And then there's like the day scrunchies, which are like a little less voluminous in the material project quota, but do the same thing. They cover the hair elastic tie for you and they give you a softer hair grab. I like them when I'm doing buns and I'm not using my DPNs to hold my hair up on the top of my head. I also like to give them as gifts because I know people who like scrunchies. I've made a couple of crochet scrunchies. Some of them are for Advent persons. I finished another one this morning. I don't know. It'll either go to my Advent partner, my second Advent partner, or it'll go to my mom. I don't know yet. But I've made another scrunchie. All it is, and this is really, guys, this is so simple. It is a single crochet around the elastic, and you cram in as many single crochets as you can. So when you pull it, you don't lose coverage, right? And then I chain up one, and I do a half double crochet, chain two, and then I skip a stitch from the row below. And I just do that all the way around. And then to finish it off, I do a little quick picot edge situation on the next round up. That's it. I like them. They're very versatile, and because again, they're being made out of the cotton, you can throw them in the washer and dryer, which is really nice. And if you have hair that needs to be corralled, they are handy to have. So I've made another one. I started a second, but it's still like you can see, like I only got it the first crochet round done where we got around all the elastic. So I've still got to do my secondary loop round and then my picot finishing round. But I like making them. They're quick, they're easy, and they're useful. I hate making unuseful gifts. I hate making unuseful gifts. I like stuff to have purpose, you know? Reason. Could you stop telling me about the buttons? Boy, am I not interested in knowing about the buttons. Okay. We need to go into the bags. It's gonna get weird from here on out. But we will get to Advent talk. Because as usual, I've bitten off more than I can chew. Let's go over the yarn check-in stuff from this past weekend. On Friday, me and Louise got together and we chatted. It was the December check-in. So we picked a project to work on secretly for the month of December, and we talked about our projects from November that we've been working on secretly. Poor Louise hopefully has come to terms with the fact that while she knits socks, she is not a sock knitter, and that should allow her enough breathing space to then finish socks. That's my hope anyway. I had my dad's Christmas hat to work on. Long story short, yes, the Christmas hat was done. So it didn't exist last month. Of course, it didn't exist last year. It didn't exist last month, and I'm just going to show you the inside of the bag that it lives in. Look, ooh, peek, just in case my mom's watching, and just in case my dad happens to be at home. You saw nothing. It's a hunter orange hat, nothing fancy about it. Just a nice little beanie hat that Dad could place over top of his head. So you know what? If Dad's watching, close your eyeballs or look away, sir, so I can show this off. Nobody else spoil it for him. That would be rude. I hate that ranking system that YouTube uses. So unhelpful. So unhelpful. Listen, I don't want to know. Stop telling me useless information. Is there a way to do that? Nope. Wow. I'm not even allowed to. Oh, Melanie, I'm glad your Christmas crack is ready to go. Dad's hat's just a beanie. We're just an orange beanie. Nothing fancy. It's nice and big because it's got to fit over another hat, and it has to fit over my dad's head, both of which make the head circumference larger than my head. Because I and my family are getting away from wrapping paper as presents. We have now entered the make the bag portion of my existence. At some point, I will have crocheted enough bags that they will start coming back to me. We are not at saturation level yet. So I quickly this week whipped up a crochet bag to store it all in. Nothing fancy, literally a bog standard crochet bag. We've met me, like we know I can do crochet bags. I did a little fancy spacing at the top. Instead of the half double crochets I had been using, I did a double crochet, chained one, and skipped a stitch all the way around so that I could weave through a ribbon and tie up the bag. So there's the very first finished Christmas present. Like finished ends woven in. There is nothing else I need to do with that, dude. It is done. Done. Done, 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 done. Yes. Orange doesn't alert or draw the attention of deer or prey animals, but it is very visibly distinct from green and brown. So it's very the hunter orange, is what you're looking for, that safety orange. That is very easy for the humans to pick up on, so it is a health and safety thing. So if you go walking in places where they like to shoot deer, please wear something that is reflective that humans will notice because we've all met us. It is unwise to do otherwise. Don't do it the other way. Also, gives you an excuse to a very visible hat. You want a very visible hat if you're hunting. There are weapons you could die by a simple human error, and humans make errors all the time. Wear high visibility if you're out hunting. Or if you're out wandering around, where they hunt. Beautiful. Thank you, Melanie. I've never had directions for Christmas crack. I learned from a 90-year-old granny originally from Ukraine. No measurements, no recipe. I stood in the kitchen and she told me what to do. And I was expected to remember after the fact. It was my ex's granny. He lived with her at the time because he was helping care for her. So and I learned because I knew better. I didn't want to get lectured. So I have no measurements for it. There's no way for me to partake that information to people because I have never weighed or measured a darn thing for that. It's like my family's homemade sweet and sour sauce. There's no measurements because it's variable every time. And it's fine. The best family recipes are that way. All right, let's go on. Now, my family plays fast and loose with Christmas dates. For us, Christmas is a wonderful day to get together and have dinner with the family, but it doesn't need to be on Christmas. This year, it's not going to be on Christmas. It's going to be much later, which works great for me because if we all remember, I've got to work on my brother-in-law's crocheted couch throw, which was a project that was decided on pretty freaking late in the year, given the size of the project. So I am happy to have additional time. That doesn't mean I'm going to stop working on the blanket at a mad breakneck pace. I want to get as much done as possible, obviously. But for the most part, that's going to be pretty dull. If we're honest, it's going to be pretty dull. I am making a couch throw. I was going to go rectangular, and then I said, fudge it. We'll just make a nice big square. You can tuck it up and around yourself in Chicago Bear colors-ish. So a deep blue, we went navy blue. A burnt orange, I could only find orange and a white. And a white is a white to me. It's not a cream white, it's a white white. There's a difference between whites. And for the next little bit, you get to see an ever increasing navy blue square. How exciting! It's not exciting. It's very boring. It is the standard Granny Square because the Granny Square Challenge is still going on to the end of this month. So I am using that as my Granny Square Challenge time. I have officially eaten through one whole ball of Bernat Premium. It's gone. One whole ball is gone. So that's like what, 198 grams, give or take? So not too bad. I'm using a 5mm hook. I'm doing a standard Granny Square cluster situation, and I'm just going around and around and around and around and around. I make a lot of Granny Square stuff. This is going to start to become hard shortly because the rows are now going to get very long. So while this is it quartered, the growth is going to get a little bit harder to track. So I'm going to drop in some progress keepers to help keep myself motivated week to week. My hope is a ball a week. If I can do at least a ball a week, then I will be done sometime early mid-January, which is perfectly fine. We're going to go blue until I can't take it anymore. And then we're going to do a four row orange band, and then we're going to do a 2-row white band, and then we're going to go back to the navy. There's going to be a predominantly navy colored blanket. It is done in the acrylic, a Bernat Premium. so that my sister can put it in the washing machine. Why is it nice for my sister to put stuff in the washing machine? Because she's two very large dogs that climb on the couch. So she likes to be able to wash stuff that lives in the house. And that's a totally reasonable request. I have a cat, and a lot of my stuff for her specifically is also an acrylic, so I can wash the crap out of it and be aggressive and mean. She prefers real wool because she's falutin and fancy that way. All right, what else have we got in this bag? We've got so much going on in here. I did a lot this week, you guys. It was all over the place, but I did a lot. I have an incredibly defunct looking mitten, and let me explain. My sister is getting a cowl, a hat, and a pair of mittens from me. I'm doing them in a brioche knit, nothing fancy, no patterns, just out of my head, ad-libbing it. My sister is one of those humans that runs cold, so I wanted to line the hat and the mittens so that there'd be a little fleecy warmth on the inside for her. And I'm doing this out of a bulky red yarn. I called and confirmed that bulky was fine, squishy was fine, and I said, you're not really going to have a lot of what would call dexterity going on with these mittens, and she said that was totally fine. I'm going to awkwardly hold up a thing. Maybe awkwardly hold up a thing? Oh my God. We added a lot of distractions, Jude. I have a tube. It's flat. So I just did the brioche stitch. Nothing fancy to it. I narrowed it down. It's going to look awkward till I sew it, and that's fine. I need to lay this tube. I need to bind it off. That's where I got to this morning when I had to stop and become human. Have a shower. I had to go have a shower. Stop, become human. I need to bind off. And then I need to lay this out on my fabric, and I need to cut 4 pieces of them because well, no, two. Sorry, two because it's both sides. I need 2 mittens, so I need 2 pieces of snow. Oh, I forgot to bring my snowflake fabric. Do you guys want to see the snowflake fabric? I can go grab it. Let me know if you want to see it. Once I've cut my 2 pieces of fabric out, which is a really freaking nice fleece, I'm going to sew everything together so it's all tucked up on the inside, and I will do the thumb separately. So because it is a seamed, my sister's hands are more narrow than mine are, but they're about the same length. So I need to, once I've made the mitten, obviously when I cut out the mitten, I will cut out the thumb gusset at the same time. Like I'll make a little template for it. Once I've got it sewn together and the tubes together and the thumb gusset lining is sticking out the inside, I'm just going to do some ribbing stitches around the thumb so the thumb's a little bit snugger so she can pretend to have a claw hand. But with this level of squish plus a fleece lining, it's just a claw hand. There's no dexterity going on in this at all. However, if I've gauged this right, and I'm hoping I have, there'll be enough wiggle room that she could put on one of those thin slate glove situations and then put on these mittens, which would be ideal because that gives her 3 layers. And again, when you run cold, layers are important. So that is my hope. I mean, yes? Okay, Sandy, I will go grab the fabric here. Hang on. Again, acrylic, because she goes outside. She has dogs. You touch snow, the outside is dirty. Um, and she is like me. She is going blind, which means we touch a lot of surfaces with the back of our hands. For anybody who's dealt with me in real life, who knows, who's interacted with me, I touch everything. And I do that to orientate, to tell me where things are, because I have no depth perception anymore. And as my sister continues her journey, she's going to run into the same problem at some point. So this is something that I'm hoping will handle a little bit of wear and tear because of its acrylic nature. But the internet has spoken. Hang on, I need to extricate my foot from my cat. Which is perfect because I forgot 2 of the things that Karen sent anyway in the mail. So everybody, talks amongst yourself. Grab a cup of tea. I will be back. I need to leave. Leave you unattended. Don't cause any rabble rousing. No new Confederation of Knitting States or anything. Stay legal. Whoops. Hello. You want to bet my cat stole my spot? Bet you I lost my foot spot, guys. I bet you I lost my foot spot. Okay, we've got some fabric. Listen, I know what happens when I'm left unattended. Committees form or to-do lists grow. It's dangerous. All right, the lining fabric is this incredibly buttery soft fleece that I found in a fabric land in Saskatchewan. Of course, I found it in Saskatoon while I was living with my mom. But this is our lining fleece. Look at it. How it's so fuzzy, guys. Like I just want to rub my face all over it. It's so damn fuzzy. Ugh. Just gonna sit here and pet myself inappropriately. It's fine. We're gonna use this. I have a yard of it because I couldn't be bothered to do that. So it's like, no, just get a yard. It's fine. I now that I've been looking at it and I'm at home, depending on how much I end up cutting out with my mittens and my hat, if I'm conservative and careful, and I will be because this is what $16 a yard or something like this is not cheap fleece. I might be able to line her cowl. Not a thing I could have attempted with a Christmas date deadline situation, but now that I have more wiggle room, I might be able to take the excess and turn it into a lined cowl situation for her as well. So it's going to be this beautiful blue and white snowflake striped pattern situation, and then it's going to have this red as the outside, red as the outside layer. Can I hold that up so it looks good? Not really. Cool, that's helpful. But you can see how well that works together. Oh, pretty. Am I tempted to keep it for myself? Absolutely not. I am not a cold person. It would be way too warm and way too bulky and would not work for me at all. Hopefully they work good for my sister. That's my hope. I'm gonna put that down on the ground. That's probably a bad idea. My cat's probably gonna try to sleep on it. It's fine. Listen, talk back. Oh my God. I would never leave those PJs. If I had pajama plants and that fleece, I would be the person who goes to Walmart in my pajamas. They would never leave my body. I would melt to death. But that's the thing. Hey, Nikki. All right. So that does mean I am running out of excuses not to cut the fabric, and I've been hesitant to cut the fabric because it's expensive and I can't afford to replace it. But it does need to get done. And I do want to see if I can maybe eke out enough yardage to wrap my sister's cowl. So that way she's got the big fluffy brioche on the outside and then she's got the fuzzy fleece on the inside. And it'll be really cute when it's because it's a double wrap cowl. It'll be really cute when it's twisted and stuff. So fingers crossed. I'm going to make some paper templates for a hat and mitten templates. And then I'm going to fudge like I'm a Victorian and see how much yardage I can save. What are we saying exactly to? If you're a cold person, layers are your friend. Oh, my ribs. Layers are absolutely your friend. I am not. We're minus 20. I button up my coat, but I'm not wearing mittens and a hat because my ear doesn't like the wind. Everybody's different. But ours are in Celsius. So it's like we're minus, I think we were like minus 23 Celsius this morning when I woke up at about 6:37 this morning. So it was a bit, but we got there. Oh, I hate that numbering system. Terrible. Terrible, 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 terrible. All right, what else we got? The bag shall also give me. Oh gosh, that was aggressively jumping out of my hands. I've got more stuff in here. What are you doing, you weirdo bag? Oh, that's what it is. Because I've got multiple projects shoved in one bag. I have stuff all over my house, guys. I have to collect it before we go live, and it's not always a smooth process. I wish it was a smooth process. And yeah, I hear everybody just make sure it has its own project bags. I don't do that. Not for projects that don't really leave the house. Or if they do and they come in the house and get out of the house, then I tend to, oops, I just dropped a project on my cat's head. I don't worry about it as much, but I know better for this project because it is nothing but a freaking nightmare. I hate this project so much. I don't hate it. I'm frustrated at how complex it's becoming for me. Could you please unravel, you nightmarish piece of nonsense? I want to talk about my sweater and I don't want to have sock yarn in the way because that's not what I'm talking about right now. D, stop it. Stop it. Got too much going on. Too. Oh, sure. Thanks. Where is that -8? Is that the conversion from 20 Fahrenheit? That's 8 -8 Celsius? I don't know the conversion rate. If I'm honest, I'm never going to bother to learn. Guys, I'm Canadian. I do temperatures in Celsius. I can love America from here to next Tuesday, but it doesn't mean I'm going to bother to learn your weather system. I have enough troubles with the hodgepodge that is how we do everything here. Because realistically enough, while my temperature's in Celsius and we tell distance via time used, my most of my baking is done in an imperial, not in metrics. So I already have enough of a cacophony going on in my brain about things. I'm not adding to it for adding Fahrenheit conversions. I'll just use Google. I'll just use Google. Which, I mean, I use Google all the time to turn metric measurements into imperial measurements when it comes to baking anyway. Aha, we've separated the suck here. Thank God. I swear. Ooh, good call. That'd be nice and fast. -8 is I'm still wearing my fall coat weather. I run very warm. It's -18 for the high today, and I have windows open in here because I'm crazy. But I run one. All right. The good news is not only did I finish a Christmas sock, I started sock number 2. Look at all that progress. Look at all that progress. We are making our way up a foot. Now, the good news is they're shorties, which means the longest part of the sock for me is actually making the foot of the sock. The post heel situation is only 4 inches high, 2 inches of stockinette, 2 inches of ribbing, and we're done. So this is the longest slog. If I can somehow get through this before we get too much farther in December, I may honestly have a pair of Christmas socks for Christmas Day for myself. And that would be a nice little treat, I think. The trick will be to put the first sock somewhere where I don't lose it. Oh, you know what I should do with it? I have a weave in ends mending basket tucked beside my crafting chair. I should just take the, yeah, I should take the finished Christmas tree farm sock and just put it in the mending pile, like the weave in ends mending pile, and then just I learn to go look there for a sock if I'm missing a sock when I'm finishing a pair. Like maybe that's the trick I need to do. Oh, my voice. Where are you going, voice? I need you to stay for a while longer. Where's my caffeine? Oh, God, it's in here somewhere. Let's take a sip. Oh, yeah. Liquid. Liquid. Now, why aren't you? We got snow like a weekish ago, start of December. End of November, start of December, we finally had snow, and it's not a lot of snow. Like, it's just enough to cover ground bits. So, nowhere near the volume we should have to have a proper Christmas. But at least we can pretend. I mean, it's probably good since I have to go walking in the woods on the 21st. Weirdly, yes, because some people do their houses by Fahrenheit on the inside temperature versus Celsius for their out for the outside temperatures, which I could never do that flip, but some houses do that. I do know that. Who knows, right? Oh, we don't have anywhere near enough snow. I mean, it's cold. We're in the cold ranges. I wear a coat. I acknowledge it's cold for people, but we don't have enough snow, nowhere near enough. I'm like, cool, if we don't get enough in January and February and it all goes away really fast again, we'll have another drought year. Yay, drought year. Because what the farmers need is more drought. That'll help food prices. Gross. Gross. They're already predicting that food prices are going to go up again this year. Not excited. All right, let's talk Christmas sweaters. Week. Finally extricated enough stuff. Maybe. Go in the bag. We all know I am making a purple and gingerbread striped colored Christmas sweater where I am using the Tristan of Dragonhorn Designs pattern Saturday morning. So we are making a bulky 80s style worsted weight sweater to wear with leggings and leg warmers and to sit and read and craft, say Christmas morning. Sans any humans whatsoever. The ultimate goal is to have it done by Christmas again, so I can wear it over top of my yoga stuff in the morning, eating a cinnamon bun, drinking my whatever beverage I happen to have that day, and chillaxing Christmas morning. That is the goal. We're making our way to that goal. We're hoping it's going to happen. I didn't make as much progress as I needed to this week, but I did put in my Dragon Progress Keeper. See, Dragon Progress Keeper? Yeah, yeah. So we did make some progress. So we got in, finished a stripe of purple, finished another stripe of pink. I mean, the pink gingerbread stripes are only like an inch, right? And I'm rough housing these guesses. It's rough math. And we're back into the purple. Not terrible progress, given that this is a worsted weight sweater. So, like, if I buckled down, I could do it. But I'm not measuring till this sweater, when I drape it on my fingers, is at my elbow. Because there is no point until it is at my elbow to even think about measuring it. Even then, this is not as long as I need it to be. It needs to be longer, but I don't start till I'm at my elbow, and I'm nowhere near my elbow. So I have not been working on this like I should be this past week. It is just stockinette in the round, which is both a blessing and a curse. Blessing because it means I can do this even when my vision is shot for the day and I literally can't see anything. So some days my vision is so bad. This worsted weight yarn, even the pink or the purple, doesn't matter, is not visible to me unless it's like this close to my face. As you guys can see, like that's pretty dang close, right? But if I'm holding it where I should be so that I'm not hunching my shoulders weirdly, it disappears some days. That's no longer always consistently within my field of vision. So good because I can very easily feel the stitches and we can work on it. Bad because oh my god, stockinette is boring. This is so boring. So I need the staple pieces. I will enjoy it when it's finished. There's so much stockinette. I'm dreaming of ribbon. Anything to be slightly more invested than knitting around. Which you'd think my brain's full and doesn't have space for anything else. And my brain is full, doesn't have space for anything else. But I sure don't enjoy body stockinette. And I'm at the point where the body's not long enough to start measuring, so I'm not excited because I'm close to sleeves, but it's far enough along in the process that we're kind of awkward to deal with. I'm moving the stitch marker up as we try. So I don't know. All I know is I'm not. This is the part where I tend to put the sweaters down and then I don't finish it. So we need to try to not do that this time and keep working on it. I do have a friend coming over to watch the Mighty Nine with me this afternoon. So I am hoping, because we'll be having discussions while we watch the episodes on Amazon Prime, to get some more work done on the sweater because I would really like to have that whole Christmas situation happening in my yoga legging, in my Christmas farm tree socks, in my wild purpley pink striped sweater, eating a cinnamon bun. Like, it's kind of what I want to do Christmas morning. I feel like that's a good vibe. Don't know what I want for a beverage, though. We'll figure that out when we get closer. Let's see. I don't drive. So I have to get everywhere with 2 feet and a heartbeat. Snow makes walking interesting. Oh my gosh. The joy of snow is not in the shoveling or the driving in snow because that can be complicated. Joy of snow is that it sends a lot of people away, so I don't have to interact with people while I'm walking outside, which I really like. People are exhausting some days. All right. Did a lot of stuff. We're still not done talking about project, guys. Let's talk about the Advent project. I wanted to knit, well, crochet an Advent 20 grams of yarn every day. I knew it was a big goal. I knew I probably wasn't going to be able to stick to the days. Caleb and Nott are freaking adorable. Obviously, Jester is my favorite, flat out. Jester's my favorite. But if we're talking like people that work together, I like Caduceus. I like Jester. I Nott's fine. She's not my favorite. Like Caleb. Ford is fine. My introduction to Critical Role wasn't the Mighty Nine. It is Vox Machina, so I have stronger emotional ties to those characters. I enjoy the Mighty Nine. They're fine. I don't have a problem with them. The same way as I enjoy Campaign Three's characters as well too. My brain currently doesn't remember the name of the group, so that's also fine. But my homeboys, my happy place is Vox Machina. So my friend, however, got into it really hardcore with the Mighty Nine, so he's excited to watch the episodes, and I'm happy to loan him the screen and have somebody talk to about it. So especially since I know all the differences. Bye, Melanie. Have fun putting away groceries. Food's good stuff though. But I mean, people are exhausting a lot of the time, Jude. You're not wrong. I think, no, I can't say it unless I spoil it for people who want to watch the animated cartoon and haven't watched the campaign season. I like what Sam Riegel, who is the voice actor who plays Nott, I like what he does with his character arcs. He creates very interesting characters. I rarely like the characters, but I enjoy the work he's put into them. So it's a complicated sort of situation. Let's talk advents. I have an advent calendar. I obviously it should shock nobody in surprise, but my advent calendar is from Aaron of Highway Fabrico, because of course it is. Now I went into this advent like I've done the last couple, and I know the colors because I help box advents for them. I enjoy making cardboard boxes. This is a chance for me to hang out with her and Tristan, and for us to feel productive at the same time. So like it's all around good vibe time for me. Also, Tristan's a chef and he offers to make me lunch, and I'm never going to say no to a really well done lunch. I like lunches. I like brunches. I like food. I'm a fan. However, I needed something to do with this year's Advent calendar. The first two I collected because I do want to turn them into a very specific type of style of blanket, and I'm slowly making progress on that because it is a slow, big, long-term project. I mean, I don't expect to finish it within 5 years. It is a putter project for me, and I know that. This year's Advent, I really wanted to sort of use it up as close to on time as possible. My first thought had been to do a sweater. Knit 20 grams a day on a sweater, no problem. I have no free 4mm needles. None. There are no free 4mm needles in this house. They are all used up. And I knit finger weight sweaters on a 4mm needle. Gets me 20 stitches over 4 inches. I like the gauge, I like the drape, I like the breathing. It means I can wear those sweaters or t-shirts the longest into seasons, either one way or the other. So that wasn't going to work. And then I went and I was listening to Louise, and she was talking about crochet paper chains. And I was like, oh, that's a really good idea because I can make something. It can be decorative for my house and for Christmas, and it's homemade. So, like, it ticks all of the boxes I want for things I'm keeping in my life, right? Again, remember, we're working on a homemade house incredibly slowly. Only, only handmade if we can manage it. I won't spoil things for people who only watch the animated, but I have been watching the stream since in around the time where well, it was campaign one of Vox Machina for the animated cartoon. When they go home to Percy's house, I've been watching the stream since just about that point. A long time, 9+ years, I have been watching Critical Role every week for anywhere from 3.5 to 8 hours. It's a long form situation. It's a long form content consumption. It's been a while, but I've been with them for a very long time. I have swag. I'd have more swag if I could. I can't. I would have more swag if I could. All right. So easy to distract me with Critical Role stuff. So I looked up some crochet paper chain patterns, and they all pretty much they used a lot of single crochets. They used very tight gauges. They used thicker yarn, so that it was quicker to do. And I was like, okay, well, I'm doing it on fingering weight. I sure as this side of last Tuesday did not want to do anything on single crochet at a fingering weight on a 3 millimeter hook. I would absolutely shoot myself first. No, thank you. Absolutely not. However, 3 millimeter hook, half double crochet. Okay, that I can do. I can do a half double crochet without thinking. So I started, and I started late because I was just so damn tired when I had the tiny chickens. I think I did the podcast and went back to bed, and I slept for almost another day and a half. Like I was pretty freaking sick when we had the tiny chickens. But I have at least made it through day one. We are now on day what, 6, 7? I have crocheted a bunch of strips. Future Jocelyn's going to be terribly cheesed because you guys notice these are strips. These are strips. They are not in a circle shape. They are not connected together. There is no chain making going on in this process yet. Why? Because I hate myself. No, it's not. That's not because I don't hate myself. Because I took a couple of false starts to get a width of paper chain that I wanted when I was finished. So I had a width of yarn that I was happy with, and I have a length that makes a nice little tiny chain. So we've got a little bit of structure going on here. And then my brain went, I don't want it to fade. Like I don't want to do day 1 to day 2 to day 3 to day 4. Like I don't want them color blocked. I want them all mixed up color wise. So I had to commit to not assembling my strips till like the 21st of December. So I need to be 2/3 done making strips before I start assembling my paper chains. Okay, I just need to make a lot of strips. Then my brain's like, why are you just doing crochet? You are a crocheter and you are a knitter. So now day 2 is on the needles because I took me a while to get the right gauge ratio going on. But if I use my sock needle, which is an insanely tight gauge, I'm making knitted garter strips that'll go with the crochet strips. So we're going to have a crochet knitted paper chain situation going on. But again, because we've got some lovely fade going on this year, it looks like, I gotta wait. I gotta wait till I'm way later in the dates before I can start assembling these. So I literally need to make 1,000,001 paper chains. I've been doing the math. One crochet chain stripe takes me 2 podcasts. That's about an hour and 30 minutes. This knitted guy, I haven't timed because I've been listening to The Martian by Andy Weir, so I don't know. We're currently rescuing Mark. I enjoy the books, so I don't know. I will have to time my second stripe, see how much time it takes to knit one versus to crochet one, to dedicate the amount of time necessary for each day. However, at an hour and a half per stripe and getting 5 stripes out of one crochet 20-gram mini, that's like 6 hours of work a day. I can't do 6 hours of work a day on one project right now. I don't have the spare time for it. I'm going to work on these as much as I can. I'm going to continue to make stripes till I'm all done making stripes. But if I'm honest with myself, this might be the challenge project for the Christmas Advent at the end of December. Oh. I'm I'm thinking I'll just alternate. So yeah, odd crocheted, even knitted, Jude, just because I crocheted the first day. That's how we make decisions. But because it's a lot of work, like it's more work than I thought it was going to be, and I thought it was going to be a lot of work. I think I might make that medieval advent challenge I like to do every year. I might make it finishing and assembling this so that the chain's ready for next year's displaying purposes. I think that's our best route forward. It also means I can put this together and I can decide if I want to stiffen the chain or not later. Because obviously, I mean, everybody knows if you use a mixture of craft like Elmer's white school glue and you water it down and literally paint it on fabric and pin it out like you would with a doily or stuff, you can make a nice sort of stiff creation going on. So I might end up doing that on these. I might not. I might like them just as they are, and I might not fiddle with them at all. We won't know till we get to the assembly stage, which is now days and days and days and days and days away. Do I like the idea of this being my Advent challenge this year? Not so much. It's just, however, it's probably how it's going to work out, given how much I need to do. Good news is the bulk of my volunteering work is done at the end of next week, so that I'll have some more free time then, so I can commit more time to it. However, until then, I'm going to do my best to try to catch up this week to, at the very least, make that gap on the days I've opened as small as possible compared to the days I finished. We'll see how I go. We'll see how it does. I'm going to have a lot of strips. I should pull out a project bag for this, guys, and start putting all the strips in there. I think it might be a good idea to help sort of keep everything corralled. It's probably a good idea. Possibly. That's probably a good idea. Oh, yes. This year's tiny chickens are really bad. Uh, Nikki, I hope you don't take too long to recover. I think I'm vaccinated, and the tiny chickens, this year's tiny chickens took me down for about 6 days, and I'm vaccinated. When they tell you on the news it's nasty this year, they're not lying to you. It's terrible. It's absolutely terrible. And we're nowhere near the peak, right? So, yikes. But acknowledging that my Advent project is even larger than I thought it was, and I thought it was large. Um, we've reached the end. This is all the stuff I worked on this week, which is a lot of frickin' stuff, which means we can talk about stuff I got in the mail this week. And I know everybody prefers the present talking to me. Oh, I forgot to grab the two things. Whatever. Don't worry about it. I'm hoping my Advent partner in Norway gets her Advent calendar as soon as possible. I don't know where it is in the system at this point. However, I've been enjoying my daily tea openings. She sent me the little packets of tea. She sent 20, well, she sent a month's worth for a tea Advent. So every day I open up and I get 2 different packs of tea. I have been drinking through most of them, not all of them, but most of them. And I do have the uh, 12 gifts set aside from her. And I'm going to open those up so that I'm done on the 21st of December, which is Yule, which is the day, the holiday, like the day I celebrate a festive holiday is the 21st. It's Yule. Now, the Advent calendars. They're an exchange program between Patreon members. So if you're a paid Patreon member, you get an invite to the Discord link. You follow over to the Discord link, and they're usually June or July. I set up a sign up post and a new thread piece for it, and you can choose to sign up and have partners. You get sorted. It's a double blind sorting process. It means I write down everybody's name with a number, and then I take the and I write it, and then I give the mysterious Mr. B, a bag of numbers, and he picks the numbers and pairs them together. So I don't know who's paired with who every year. That's fine. This year I had two because we had an uneven number of people, so I took on a second Advent partner, which is great because Erin's nice and close, and she's my second Advent partner. Worked out really good for me. That's fine. And once that's done, you're all partnered up. You talk to your partner. You talk about your likes, your dislikes, things you prefer to work with, and you guys decide if you want to do like a 24-day one or a 12-day one. I tend to suggest a 12-day one. I prefer a 12-day Advent versus a 24-day Advent. I like making slightly larger things. So, knowing that and keeping that in mind, I technically have 3 Advents this year. They're hodgepodge. You probably won't see most of the 2 ones that were sent to me, but sometimes if something shows up, and me and Erin are so hodgepodging, it's not even funny. Like I didn't even wrap the first 2 she went home with today. It's fine. So I will show you some bits and bobs as they come in. They're not going to be tied to days. It'll just be what I remember, and it'll probably be on the live podcast or possibly on some Instagram photos. However, in addition to the Advent stuff, Karen sent me a lovely present in the mail. So I'm going to show off some of Karen's stuff, and it's going to have a thing from Erin in it because I opened up one of my Advents from Erin yesterday. As you do. There are people out there who are allergic to vaccines and can't get them. It is absolutely a thing. I've got a friend who survived a double lung transplant and cancer. He also cannot have vaccines. It's not recommended. However, I have no such impediment, so I will get a vaccine because it helps everybody stay safer. Hello, kitten. Mommy doesn't want to feed you. Would you like some snackies? Oh, you would like some snackies? This is why you're bothering me? There's no snacks in there. There's no snacks in this container for cats. It's not where your snacks come from. Also sent my kitten snacks. Oh, gosh. I need you to stop playing with that, please. I understand your tiny little kitten brain doesn't understand. Okay, guys, she needs snackies. I put them beside the computer, I swear. Oh, there they are. Do you want snackies? Look, we got snackies. Do you want snackies? Yeah? Okay, hang on. We need to do a snacky moment. And then we can talk about the fun stuff the human got. All right. There we go, kitten. Yes, are you watching? But listen, I had to put them on the floor. Oh my God, buddy. She is a demanding creature. All right, daily snackies done. She's learned if I'm at the computer, she can ask for snacks. She likes them so much, she'll even eat them near Erin. She doesn't really like people. So we know Elsa's cat snacks have gone over well. What are you going to do, right? What do I got going on? All right. We've got lip glosses on. Now I've got. Let me take a sip of pop. I've been talking a lot. Holy snickerdoodles. Okay, let's talk about fun stuff. Presents in the mail. Ooh, Advent stuff. Okay, so this is Advent, which we'll talk about in a second because that's Erin Advent. Is this everything? No, this is just the small bits and bobs that I shoved in a bag because I didn't want to misplace them. We split the marzipan tea that I got because, oh, marzipan tea is so good. And most of the stuff was just, Karen was just sending me fun stuff, which is always super cute and quite lovely. So, we got, I got a new project bag, which, oh, by the way, that actually would fit the straps very well. Oh, oh, now I'm thinking we use this as the Advent project bag. I mean, it just came in. It is the new project bag. That does make sense. That's a good idea. A fade set would be really great if you're knitting for a fade situation, though I don't know. I know Erin does a sneak peek of her yarn, so like you can see what you're purchasing. That's fair. It's a fair chunky price tag. But some people like the surprise. So I don't know if there would be a way to sort of plan for that. In an advent, I mean, probably if the dyer does a sneak peek, you can take a look at the sneak peek and or the yarn set when it's dyed and stuff, right? So like there's that option. But I don't know how many dyers do that. I lack the knowledge. Listen, boy, do I hate my headset some days. All right. One of the weird, fun things that Karen sent, I think, is a Nostapinna. Don't quote me on it. I do have to ask her, or it's a wand. I haven't decided. It's one of the two. I don't know what it is. It could be a wand, in which case, heck yeah, very cool. Could be an Nostapinna, which is just exciting. I don't know. I haven't asked yet. I meant to ask this morning when I saw she was posting it in the Discord, and I completely forgot. Oh, so good. So good. All right. Oops. All right. Got ourselves a honking big marzipan covered chocolate bar situation, which is good because I like the marzipan covered chocolate stuff. My favorite is the Goldbrod. That is not how it's pronounced. That is how it's spelled, and it's Norwegian, and I'm English, and it's terrible. Those are my favorite. Also keeps me in those. But this also tasty. It turns out that I am a fan of not incredibly sweet fresh marzipan, which you really can't get in this country unless you make it yourself, and dark chocolate. Who knew that I would like candy, hey? I know. It's a shock. Okay. It looks like a Nostapin, right? Like I'm not crazy, right, Elsa? It looks like that's what I think it is. But I want to double check, right? Yeah, Julie's. No, you had snacks. You don't need more. This is the problem with feeding her snacks. Oops, this is some of Erin's stuff. Let's keep that separate if we can. Because, keeping things separate is a good idea. Karen sent along some tea. And by tea, I mean tea. Just she says it's the German version of like a basic orange pea coke or an Earl or like a rose, red rose over here. So like it is when you ask for tea, this is your basic black tea. Uh, if this is their basic black tea, I need to move to Germany because this is freaking amazing tea. No, you don't need more snacks. Great. I love it warm, and I love it even more when it's cold with a splash of lemon and a little bit of sugar and some iced tea situations in the summer. It's even better. So I am stoked because I have been out of this tea for a bit, so I am exceedingly happy to put it back into my stash. Will it make it to summer? I don't know. We'll find out. It might not. You never know these days, right? Whoop. We both laughed. Erin tells me this is Body Shop hand lotion. I haven't opened it. I don't know what it smells like. I don't know what's going on with it, but I got some hand lotion. So I'm excited because the hand lotion. For as wet and muggy as we get here in the summers, our winters are bone dry. They just stop. It's a thing. I did get also some fun tubing, so I can put my fingering weight projects on some tubing. Always useful. I didn't actually have any tubing at this width, so I'm very excited by that. But I'm going to stick that back in the bag because my cat will absolutely chew on that. Stop it! Glad Jude and also are having a conversation there. I'm not entirely sure what you're talking about, but I'm glad you're having a conversation. You can't get good tea in the States. I love you. I love you. You make amazing foodstuffs. Your tea is terrible. Terrible. Even worse, you can't ask for iced tea because it's a sweet iced tea. And I eat sugar cubes straight. Still can. I have done so since I was a teenager. The sweet tea is too sweet. The sweet tea is too sweet. And I'm not saying Canada makes better tea in restaurants. Canadian tea in restaurants is usually incredibly hit and miss. Why? Because we believe in something called red rose, which I think should be executively dumped out of everywhere forever and just put into garbage bins. I don't like it. Can you tell? I have opinions on this. So, keeping that in mind, I am spoiled because I have friends in parts of the world where good tea exists and it comes my way. One of my girlfriends, her husband is from India originally. He moved here when he was doing his university education and then he stayed, right? So he makes chai when he comes over. So, like when I say I'm spoiled for tea because he makes chai from the tea his mom sends him from India. I understand the chai that's available here is not the same. It's not the same. It's not as good. And do I let him make chai when he comes over? Absolutely, because that man knows how to make a cup of tea. I am more than happy to do. We do little English tea services, so like I bake some things and she bakes some things and he makes the tea and we do like a whole proper like little English tea service situation. Always a good time, always a fun time. And then we play a board game because we're nerds. That's what we do. But that's not the point. The point is the man can make a cup of chai and he brings the bags that his mom sends him from India. So I get really good chai. Spoiled, guys. I am absolutely spoiled. Okay. Oh, well, and I mean, it's funny because if you know the history of it, coffee isn't popular because of America. Coffee is popular because of England. So England was a coffee drinking nation first, and then it slowly became a tea drinking nation. So history is convoluted at the best of times. But the popularity of coffee, which is tied to radicalized thinking and rabble rousing, is actually all out of England and has nothing to do with America. It was already an established thing. So history, fun. Even when you're thinking like things like coffee and tea. It's fine. It's fine. It's the way it is. All right. Other things Karen sent me. I got some fun little pumpkin lights. They're little lights in a box. I'm not taking them out because I don't want to lose them. But they've got little pumpkins. I know it's really hard to see. They're little string lights with pumpkins on them. Is what they are. This is absolutely going to be going on my fireplace mantle next Halloween season, and I'm going to plug it in. I'm going to have little lights on the fireplace mantle, and I'm very excited by this. Super stoked. And then I got this fun little elastic thing. Okay, I've seen something similar for sewing, but it's oops, will you come? I'm so nervous. I don't want to break this. Okay. So you have that snap band. Does everybody remember the snap bands? Are we all old enough to remember the wrist snap band situation from like the late 80s, early 90s? Like everybody wore the snap wrist situations. And it has a magnet plate in the middle to magnetize metal things. Very handy. I've seen them on, ooh, that hurt. I haven't snapped something out of my wrist since I was a child. Oh my God. So it's snaps on to hold things like darning needles while you're working on them. I've seen them for like pin cushions, and you get like the little mini pin cushion on top for sewing, and that was ridiculous. Like that was absolutely no use to me whatsoever. However, this, while I'm darning things or sewing up ends, and I would wear it obviously a bit higher up my arm for my comfort level, it means I'm not holding my darning needle in my mouth anymore. I just put it on the needle. So yes, I am super. That was an amazing little basket, you know. Ooh, here we go. I have orange peacock as well. I grew up. I grew up on orange peacock. There's nothing wrong with orange peacock. It is not an amazing cup of tea, but it will do. It will do. Okay, I'm gonna put all of this back in my bag. That's just what Karen sent me. That was just a random surprise thing that got sent in the mail, and it brought me great joy. And it was fun to open, and it was fun to watch Erin figure out what parts were for her. Came with a post-it note. We were prepared for a lot of Googling, should it be required. Oh God, I don't want to lose anything. Okay, mouse dependence, gotta go back in here. But I did open some of my Advent stuff from Erin, which I'm going to show you guys because it's fun stuff. And it's arrived here. Erin got some of hers. We're still doing piecemeal for that. So, like, Erin will still get more stuff from me. And there's some things that, I mean, with Karen's watching later. Yeah, I know there's yarn and a Halloween headband, but there's, oh, it's still on the coffee table. I forgot to bring them in here. But I'm definitely going to put all my little bits and bobs away now because I want this for my strips. I want this for my strips. Monster, where are you? You're not at my feet. Please don't be causing problems. It's quiet. She's probably causing problems. Why don't you go up? Mm, Vietnamese can do a green tea. I am a little more wary of matcha because my first exposure to matcha was like a Japanese ceremonial grade matcha. So I struggle with the lower grades of matcha because it's not exactly the same as the ceremonial grade. But oh, I don't like the price tag on the ceremonial grade stuff. Also, matcha, it's a distinct flavoring. Green tea is less in your face about it. All right, let's talk about things that Erin has given me. Because Erin is one of my advents. You guys all know. If you don't know, it's going to be a different conversation piece. Erin's originally from Thunder Bay. It's fair. She moved here at the start of the pandemic. It was interesting times and started dyeing yarn. And we met because she was a follower of the podcast. So while she was home visiting her family recently, she decided to stop by her favorite version of the bulk barn. Now, the bulk barn is exactly what it sounds like here. You go in, there's big bins, stuff's loose, you portion it out into bags, you write down the tag numbers. It's a barn of bulk things, so it's a storefront full of bulk stuff. It is a treasure trove of stuff that is Jocelyn friendly because they do the really weird things and they do basics. So when I'm getting wild rice, I'm not getting a fancy wild rice. I'm just getting the seeds. So I can just buy the wild rice. Now I can't buy their candies. I can't buy any of their processed baking stuff. I can't buy their fruits for the most part because They coat their dried fruit in well, it's a starch dusting is what they do. And that starch is always corn, which means I react to it. So like there's things I can't buy. I can buy the bejeweled dates, but I can't buy other of the dried fruits. But I can buy the dried nuts. I can buy the nuts. I can buy the seeds. I can buy the flowers. I can buy the salt mixes. I can buy some of the pastas. I can buy the quinoas. Like I can buy the grains. And I can buy some of the boxed items because some of the boxed items are fun and weird and wacky, and that's the best part. Erin wanted me to have some samples from her version of bulk barn. One of them is in the fridge. It's a blueberry mushroom drink. I'm going to try that later today. The other one is two licorices. Now, I like licorice. I'm not a oh my God, give me licorice every day kind of person, but I do enjoy the occasional licorice. I've never tried salt licorice, like salted licorice. I've always done the sweet licorices. One of these is sweetened and one of these is salted, and I am not going to put them under a magnifying glass, so I'm not going to know which one's which, and I'm going to give them a try. And there is no guarantee that I will like either of them, but Aaron said I certainly don't have to finish them. However, am I going to try some of it today when the mysterious Mr. B is over? Because that's the friend that's coming over to watch the Critical Role. Yes. Am I going to poker face it till he tries? Also, yes, because I want to see his face when he hits salt licorice. I suspect it's going to be spectacular. Will I make anybody else eat this? No, of course not. It's crazy pants. And I will warn him that one sweet, one salt, and it's an experiment, right? But oh, should be fun. Should be fun. Are you not upgrading again? Somebody say. I don't know if I'll like salty licorice or not, so I don't know. So I'm gonna try it and we're gonna see if I like it or not. I do like regular licorices, so like I might not. I might find it too salty. Salty foods are weird for me. The other 2 days of Advent that I got was some hand spun from Erin. And if everybody's thinking, Jocelyn, that's black, you're not wrong. This is from Fiber from Cloud9 Fiberworks. Daria is a local dyer here in Winnipeg. I've been friends with Daria for years. She is most infamously known on the podcast for the Blood of My Enemies and Winter is Coming fibers that I've been spinning slowly. And I am in love with her Russian mint fiber because it is a beautiful, dark, rich coloring. However, this is stuff that Erin spun, and I am I love knitting in hand spun, which is why 2026 spinning is going to become a task I do every day till it's habit because I'm tired of not having hand spun to knit with. She says this one was like, I'm all alone or lost and lost. I'm all alone and lost or more lost. Oh, sure. I'm working that great. This is 2 strands of hand spun fiber. One is black with a rainbow in it. You printed it big enough, Erin. It's I'm just not having a great day today. I'm all alone, more or less. I'm all alone, more or less. We're both positive it's a quote from something. We just don't know what it's a quote from. But I have I got 2 skeins. I got 2 skeins of handspun. I don't know what I'm going to make with it yet, but I'm very excited by this. Oh gosh, all sorts of updates. So happy. The finished type is the very best also. I'm going to take a work on that. I've never tried it, so I don't know. We'll find out. We'll find out. We'll see if I like salt. Licorice. Could you stop? You're fine. Some days. I'm trying to get I just want the camera to pick up this variating, like, pretty coloration in with the black here. Like, oh, just like, look at it. It needs to be something. It needs to be something worn around my neck or somewhere visible. I don't know what yet. It's fingering-ish, so we're gonna work with that. And I don't know. I don't know yet, but I'm gonna have to figure out something out. The other present that Aaron got for me that I've opened so far, we've got more to exchange, is hmm, pattern recipe is fun. I'm at the point now where I've done enough that I can make up things in my brain for the most part. The other thing that Aaron got me was this year at Knit City in Vancouver, Ginger Snap That came out with a Scottish tartan themed situation, which makes sense. She's got Scottish heritage. And I was very intrigued. I didn't expect her to have anything even remotely close to the clan colors of my clan tartan because that's crazy. It's a small clan. But I wanted to see the colors and I wanted to get something. So Aaron got me a skein of some of the clan tartan colorways stuff. Now again, it's just loosely themed and based on it, but like, look at that. Just Kim and Colin are amazing yarn dyers, and they just have the best ideas. So now, don't get me wrong. I have to give money to Minute Cravings next year as soon as possible because they came up with a really dark, rich, purpley red colorway called Drama. I obviously need to own that too. But this year, I got my hands on some of this. My cat is being extra cat-like. No, you don't need to go find your own food. It's in your bowl. But I got one of these. I'm excited. Do I know what I'm going to make with it? Absolutely not. Do I care? Not at this moment in time. I'll figure that out later. Do I remember what it's called? No. Did I look it up before the podcast started? Absolutely not. It would have fallen out of my brain anyway. So I'm going to take a photo of the Instagram for the yarn and stuff that I've got, and I'll list all the colors there. But this was their new release at the Knit City in Vancouver this year for Ginger Snap That. And if we all know Ginger Snap That, we do because I have yarn bowls from Ginger Snap That in the shape of skulls, which is now a thing. Like if they confirm they're coming to the Manitoba Fiber Festival next September, I will have to get another yarn bowl. What am I going to do with 4 skull yarn bowls? I don't know, but we know what's going to happen, right? We all know what's going to happen, right? Like it's now a commitment. If I run across Kim and Colin at a show somewhere, I got to buy a yarn bowl. I'm going to have so many yarn bowls. So many yarn bowls. I'm excited to try, Tracy. We'll see. I love trying new things, and if it's safe for me to eat and I enjoy it, like I'm going to put it on the list, right? So the Christmas crack thing reminded me I should go get some. Well, okay. I should make some saltine crackers and then some caramel and then try to buy some chocolate and make some Christmas crack for myself. What? I love you. Come here. We still need to talk about things. Do you know what we need to talk about still? We need to talk about this month's secret crafting. I don't want to hire. I don't want to hire. I don't want Listen, at some point I need you to be less you. Can we make that arrangement? The internet doesn't want to see your butt. No, the internet doesn't want to see your butt. I You were so awkward, buddy. Can I have this back? I need to put it in my ear so I can hear chat. Listen, we're gonna lean forward so I can tap chat. Why? Because you've made my life awkward. This is why. Has anyone ever told you were demanding? Look, look, I need to check. I am not trying them on video. I don't love you people enough for that. Could you stop? I don't love you people enough for that. Now, give you an overview, sure. I need to talk about my secret project for the month with Louise. In addition to like everything else, I can't scroll up because I need 2 fingers to scroll up when talkback's on. But if I put it down, it's out of reach with you in my arm. Has anyone ever told you make my life complicated? Yes, you make my life complicated. This is awkward for me, buddy. I know you don't care, but I care. I think Patreon just wants to watch me suffer. I mean, to be fair, I do owe Patreon a fail along, the higher tiers, so I got to find something to attempt for the first time as a crafting option. This is not less awkward. This is. She wants at my wet hair to chew, guys. This is what we're doing. And I just okay. Hang on, we're gonna tip forward. You're not gonna like it. For fun, in secret, in December, I am going to work on my wood woes. I cannot pull it out of the project bag currently because I am also apparently holding my cat. You think anything to torture me is fun. Could you please not? Could you please not? We've been extra needy the last day or so. I don't know why. But it's been a thing. Hi. You're not helping. She's purring, so I don't know if she thinks it's comfortable or not, but we're happy apparently. My arm's going numb. Look, inside my project bag, I have a wood woes. This was the winner this month. So I'm going to drop a progress keeper in because we're working on the body. And I desperately need to free a pair of 4mm needles. So my goal is to be done the body and working on the sleeves. Since I have smaller 4mm circular needles that I can put the sleeves onto, I will free up a longer 4mm needle, which is important because the test knitting for the official test knitting for the Choose Your Own Adventure sweater is going to start in January. So I'm going to be making something longer than just the yoke sampling to make sure the math works out. So I will be crafting two of the Choose Your Own Adventure sweaters along with everybody while they're test knitting one Choose Your Own Adventure sweater so that I've got two options to show to people that isn't just chunks of yoke with different stitch patterns put into it to test out things. So it's not terribly scary. The numbers work, the math works, and everything else I need to have tested against people anyway, because a sleeve decrease is a sleeve decrease in my brain. The tricky part was the yoke, and that's the stuff I've sampled out. So I need a free pair of needles. We're going to work on the wood woes. Hopefully I get a body done. I mean, ideally I get also sleeves done, but let's be honest. That's a lot of knitting. I'm not that far down. And I will put a progress keeper in there so everybody can watch the progress going on, and we can keep things going. Uh, Yes, I do, Asa. That is the problem. The problem is the buddy knit for me and Asa starts in January. January the 1st is new cast off day, and the new crochet challenge starts in January. So I have some really tight deadlines going on. I will still be in the middle of what are you doing? This this helps even less. Ma'am, for years I thought about getting that baby wrap thing for newborns where moms can wrap it around their front and their babies can just tuck into their front and lay across, like lay along their chest. I thought for years that would be a thing I should get this beast. I have regrets that I never did that. I should have just done that. Maybe that's what I should ask for my birthday. That would be an awkward present. Hey, sibling, can you get me one of those baby wrap things so I can carry my cat around? Why? Now you've changed my hand problem.